Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to the build. In this video, we are going to do a quick walk around on a kit called a Ramliftpro hydraulic lift kit. We're going to install that on the front suspension. It'll help the Superlite coupe navigate speed bumps and inclined driveways, etc. Also in this video, we are going to mount the lift pump in the front compartment as well as the hydraulic reservoir that feeds it. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, well, we're over at the work table, and what you see here on the left side, which is from here over, these are all the components that are included with the Ramliftpro. The items on the right side are additional fittings and some brackets that I already fabbed up to mount the reservoir and the pump. I figured there's no need to sort of do any more videos of me making brackets, so I'll just do those off camera. But anyway, here's the kit. It's it's certainly a beautifully made kit, and it comes with the pump. It comes with the necessary wiring to connect the pump into your wiring system. It doesn't include a relay or maybe like a toggle switch or something to activate it. It'll give you the hoses to connect the reservoir to the pump. It gives you the reservoir. They give you some stainless steel hydraulic tubing and the necessary fitting to connect the pump to these hydraulic pucks. And these pucks sit on top of your springs over the shock absorber, and they're able to lift the front suspension up about 2 inches, which is a nice amount of distance. So it'll take that nose of the car from 4 inches off the ground to 6 inches. And that'll help do the job. If we move over here, the way I want to install the hoses, I want to run some bulkheads to the sides of the front compartment, just like I did the number 8 AC hose. So I bought some 4AN bulkheads. The lift kit comes with this straight NPT to hose barb adapter that goes here to feed the pump. I picked up a 90 degree adapter, so that just orients the pump tubing in a better direction. Let's see, I made a nylon standoff for the reservoir. So the reservoir base is made out of nylon, so this is like a perfect match, and I needed that to sort of fit it in the front compartment, and you'll see that in a minute. I also fabbed up this bracket, and I wanted to mount them using some silicone grommets to reduce the vibration. These grommets are good for 3/16 inch thick aluminum, so I had to mill this down a little bit. But this will mount the pump vertically. The pump does come with a mount plate, but that's to mount it horizontally. I want to mount it vertically, so I milled that up. And I also needed some additional hose ends to connect the hoses from this side of the front compartment over to the hydraulic puck. So that's sort of the reason why I picked up some additional components. All right, so we'll start assembling some things, and I'll show you how it goes as we go along. Okay, well, you can see the pump base is attached to the bracket, and one thing to point out, you can see these oversized washers, and I use lock nuts with the base on them so the screws wouldn't pull through the grommets. There are 7/16 inch holes through the aluminum, so just want to make sure that's attached securely. But I think these silicone grommets will just reduce the vibration through the chassis when we need to activate that pump. Okay, we'll put this on the car and we'll take a look. Okay, well, we have the reservoir and the pump located in the front compartment. Let's see, if you look at the reservoir, you see the mounting base. You know, it looks like it's made out of a single piece of nylon, so that was the look I was going for. I think that came out good. Also, you can see that 90-degree elbow coming out of the pump connects to the down tube coming out of the reservoir well. You know, it's just nice and tidy. I like when all the lines, you know, look uncluttered and are clear. And let's see, lastly, you can see the bracket on the lower A-arm chassis member, so that'll get bolted in at some point. Okay, so the next step is really to run some hydraulic lines to the side panels, and I'll install some bulkheads in the side panels. Okay, well, the first thing we have to do is start to assemble our stainless hose. I'll make this real quick. I mean, basically, these ends come a little squashed, so I'm going to push on the outside of the plastic and make them nice and round, and then pull back some of the stainless steel sheathing, and then I'll put the hose end on. So I'll show that little process. Well, I use my wire cutters or clippers, whatever you want to call them, and I just sort of squish the tube and made it nice and round. I'm going to use a pick and just pull the sheathing back. Okay, well, you can see the compression fitting now is pressed onto the plastic tube underneath the stainless sheathing, and also the end of the tube is all the way at the end of the compression fitting, and you actually have to make sure that tube is wide enough so that the hose end nozzle can actually fit in. And then once you tighten up the bottom fitting, it draws it all together and makes it leak proof. Okay, so we'll do the last step and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, well, we got the nozzle fully inserted, and now I'm just going to move this up on the collar and then tighten it up, and then this one will be done. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, well, I'll tighten that up. That wasn't too bad. The next one should go in pretty easily, but actually there's a bunch of these videos on the internet that go into more detail, but I figured I'd show you my take on it right here. But anyway, these are Aeroquip fittings, and they do go together very easily. You know, some of the fittings I've seen on the internet are not as easy as these, so I sort of like the parts that they included in the kit. Okay, so now that I got the hang of it, I got the longer tube done, and I had to make the shorter tube a specific length, you know, plus or minus 1/4 of an inch. So what I realized is you can test fit by leaving the compression fitting out and just slip the nozzle into the tube and tighten it up and fit it, and you can just shave off as much as the tube as you need. So, you know, at first I thought this was a real pain, but it turns out to be pretty easy. One mention, there is a really good video on this subject under carbuilders.com on YouTube, so if you are, you know, need to assemble these kind of tubes, that's a really good video. All right, well, this will be the final segment of the video. We've got the hydraulic lines installed up to the 90-degree bulkhead fittings. Let's take a look at what we did. So if we look at the bottom of the pump, you can see the hydraulic lines coming off that T to the left and right puck. And then on the passenger side, you can see the line feeds into a 90-degree bulkhead, and on the driver's side, it does the same thing. Okay, and then you can see I've got the little bulkhead sticking out the side of the front compartment, and then that line will connect to the hydraulic puck. So I sort of like doing it this way instead of running the line either out the top here or running the line out the bottom here, just sort of interfering with some of these other hoses or tapping the frame and making noise. So I sort of like this approach. Okay, So I think I'll call it a wrap. In the next video, we're actually going to connect all the vacuum hoses and check valves together for the power brake system. Okay, so once again, thanks for watching and take care.